Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be tearing down the little Frigidaire that couldn't. This is a Frigidaire dryer from 2005 that I've used probably since 2019. It's currently 2025. This has been a good little dryer. However, it's got some issues and it's no longer worth fixing. So the big issue is the bearing back there that carries the tumbler. That went out, needs replaced. The heating element is going out, needs replaced. It's very dirty. It has some minor electrical issues, mainly the door switch here. That's gone. And I'm trying to think of what else. It just needs some love, and I'm tired of loving it. I've done various things over the years to kind of keep it going, but our goal here today is going to be to scrap what we can. If we can find some usable parts for the next guy trying to, get theirs going, maybe we can sell some or donate them or whatever to keep people going. But I don't know how well you can see the serial number here, but it was manufactured April of 2005. So it's had a long run, but I've got some basic tools over here. I've been in this thing pretty recently, but let's just jump right in here. Grab a Phillips head. I know this thing uses some weird bit sizes, so there she goes. Probably have to hunt for some of that. But all of the hardware, this is a wiring diagram that was in there, some other stuff. All of the hardware that's in here, all the wiring, I'd like to pull that off so we're left with basically just the chassis itself. I will be saving the blower motor. That appears to be the only good thing about it that's left. But let me just kind of wrap my head around what we're going to do here. We're going to get started here by just pulling all of these wires off and get those freed. And after all this is disconnected, we can pull the top off of this thing. And hey, if no one wants to buy this, and we've got some fantastic scrap wire. It's still plenty serviceable for something else. That was, wow. That wire, it got hot before. Don't know how well you can see that, but it did not want to come off, and it has a burn mark on it. This is on the run position. We're getting ready for a pretty good storm in my area. That one's also burned and broken. That could probably be some of my electrical issue right there. But we're getting ready for a pretty good little storm here. So you might hear some wind in the background. It's tornado season in the south. Okay. Now that ground right there is held in with the Phillips head screw and goes to the main chassis. Let me see if I've got a stubby Phillips head. That might work pretty good. Adjust, you guys. Hopefully, I'm trying a hat cam for the first time. I don't know how well you can see stuff or not. Tell you what, I know I have these little things, these awkward know what you call these. And after we get this ground screw undone here, we should be able to keep moving. I don't know what I've done with my stubby Phillips. Okay, it would help if that was the right size. That's a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm gonna go hunt for my stubby Phillips, and I'll be back. Okay, I can't find a stubby Phillips, but I broke this loose off camera, so we'll just keep using that. Be a whole lot quicker to cut wires, but I'd rather not do that, because if I can keep it complete, it's only gonna help the next person. If there is a next person. But you never know what somebody might want. Mike can get this by hand, no? See, these things are just awkward, in my opinion, to like keep them squared on the bit itself. And I'm sure I could take the front panel off, but that sounds like a lot of work right now, because I'd really like to go on and just blast through this, get the top off. Whenever I was troubleshooting it, I had a real fun time working on this in my laundry room. The lid kept wanting to fall off and stuff goes everywhere. 1/4 turn at a time, we're gonna get this. Can I get it by hand yet? Almost. Before somebody says something like, if it just needed the bearing, why didn't you just replace the bearing and the belt and the heater and all that? I've replaced that stuff before, and it lasted a little while, but I'm tired of messing with it. It's getting hard to find parts for it that are genuine. Me and this screw are gonna have some words. Almost. Boom. All right. I've got a little screw box here that I'll put all my hardware in. There we go. Sort through that at a later date. I'll leave those pieces out there. All right, let's clear this off. And try and get our wires routed through. All right. One little tab over here. Flathead. Let's see, is that a pole or what? Got another one there. That looks like it's a pry guy. Boy, it's on there. Oh, wind. we're just gonna have to, all right, there it goes. Cool. So there's our dryer top. All right, and we're just gonna keep working our way down. Don't want to cut that zip tie and zip out this screw. This right here was a recent fix. Uh-oh. All right, so we lost some footage there, but I'll show you what I did real quick. So I went through and removed the plug right here, as well as got all the wires off the back of the chassis. There were a few plastic clips right there that I just cut from the back. We were working on this front panel right here, and it is now off of there. There were two screws right here that I just kind of forgot about. There goes one, and they were in my way. All right, so this guy right here, that holds the tumbler up, and those three screws are all that hold it to the back. So these I know were kind of a funky size because I was in here very recently. So let's get the right size real quick. All right, make sure I'm still recording. Yep, I am. That's okay, that's a PZ2. We're gonna try that. On my screw gun, I've got a PH2, so let's just try this. Crawl in here. Got it. Got it. All right. Okay. Old little tab out. Now that belt mechanism is kind of tricky, and I think you access it from the back. So let me hop back here. All right. There we go. Yeah, you do. Don't know how well you'll be able to see. I don't really want to cut the belt, but I guess I could if I need to. There's a spring right here. I might need both hands. Okay. We get the spring off. Yep. And that just kind of pops right out. Okay. This belt's pretty old, so I really don't know why I'm keeping it, but, you know. Can't just wiggle it out somehow. Is it bent? It is now. Bend it some more. There we go. All right. There's the tumbler. There's the belt. Okay. Let's get some more wiring out of here. And then here's the bearing. That's honestly kind of a terrible design, in my opinion. It's not great. All right. pliers. Got it. All right. We have a few more wires up front here for the blower. Let's see here. Okay, so we've got a wire tie right there. That's going to be kind of fun to access. Okay. What a pain. That's going to feed up through there. Let's come back around it. And there's a little ground screw right there. Got it. Oh, another one of these little retainers. Got it. Yeah, you can see this dryer lived a pretty hard life. Alright, this connector should just pull right out. Alright, there's the harness. Done. Now what's it gonna take to get this blower out of here? Is it just a couple of screws? Let me grab a extension. That's also, looks like maybe a PH3. I guess it could be a PZ3 though. That's PH2. PH3. Is there such a thing as a PZ3? PZ3. That's not it. Okay. Well, let's just try it with the old number 2. There we go, even at an angle. Alright. Also, the blower motor is, I don't know if you can see that, but sometimes it pops out of place and just kind of does whatever it wants to. Poor thing. Alright, what do we got in the back here? 2 screws. Oh. Got it. I'm gonna strip that if I'm not careful. Alright, let me get a extension or something. Maybe go in from the top. Is it free? Well, there's a screw that retains this. Nope. That pulled out. All right, there's our vent. All right, and then there's our blower motor. So it looks like all that's left is whatever this guy is, and then all the hardware that's fallen to the bottom. I'm not sure what this little guy right here is, what he does. Maybe it's a sensor? I don't know. And then we need to get our heating element assembly out of here. I think we do that from the back, if I remember right. Yeah, just these 4 screws here. Oh yeah, and then the bearing lives right there. Okay, and the bearing's probably all that's holding that on right now. Once you access those, oh, that was smart. Me. I think the bearings on these pull out. I can't remember. Here and feel. I put grease on it, so I'm greasy. Yeah, I think they pull out. Let's just see here. If I rotate this around, I think you're supposed to pull them out with the drum so you have a little bit extra force. Let me just stand in it here. Oh no, they lift up. So it lifts up and out. There we go. All right. Cool. There's our bearing. This is what I don't like. It's just kind of a piece of plastic that hangs out here. That's the socket right there. Let me get some paper towels and we'll see what kind of socket. Maybe a little 10mm. That sounds right. We'll just bring the whole kit and caboodle in here. All right. They're really pretty simple machines. Maybe it's an 8. Let's see. It's an 8 today. Go. So that right there is a fully stripped chassis. And we'll go through. I'm going to find all the hardware in here. Then off camera, I want that off camera. I'll go through and clean out the chassis. I'm gonna cut it up and save the metal because it's kind of valuable to have that stuff laying around, in my opinion. So I'll be back once I get some things cleaned up here and we'll start sorting and processing this stuff. All right, so we're back here. I've got everything vacuumed out in the bottom there, and it was a lot worse than I thought. It had some mouse houses going on in there. So we're about to process all this junk. And I brought a tote over here for stuff that I'm gonna scrap or recycle, just do something with. That stuff is cheap. I don't really want it. That bearing, this heating element, yeah, I could still do something with it, but I just don't really need it. And these coils really aren't that expensive. If I ever needed to, I could 3D print some of these, even though that's kind of a ceramic material, but I don't know. That guy right there, I guess that's a heat sensor. I'll pull it off. It might be useful to someone or me, or, you know, I don't know. And I'm also gonna make a pile up here for stuff I wanna keep. Then we're gonna cut the chassis so we can save that metal. Hardware in there. We'll hang on to that. We're gonna hang on to the harness. Do something with that. This stuff right here. If I wanted screen like this, I'd just buy some window screen. There's no use trying to repurpose that. Don't know what I'd ever do with this bad boy, so in she goes. This bracketry, bearing retainer, this stuff over here. We're gonna let it go. This wiring diagram could be useful. In here we've got more stuff I don't want, but some hardware. Hey, we got our bag back. Well, that will probably go in that bag whenever it's all said and done. This belt, I've never replaced. After all the stuff I've done to this dryer, I have never replaced this belt, so let it go. I don't know if the tumbler is useful to anyone or not. I really don't know. Probably scrap it though. Yeah, it's got, there's lint and stuff built up in here, so we'll move it up front. Put all of our scrap on top of it. The door, can I get those hinges, I wonder? Those hinges are kind of nice. Yeah, we'll save the door hinges and probably that limit switch as well. So let's get our drill back. You never know when you need a good hinge. The mice had been living in the bottom of the dryer, which honestly, we have cats, right? So I always just figured, oh, I smell the litter box, you know, pee smell. No. Anytime the dryer got hot, mouse house. All right. Poor guy. We'll let it go. Then back here, and that little gasket shot. All this stuff. It's kind of a fire hazard. All right, this little limit switch. Is there like a faceplate on this or something? How does this want to work? Usually they just kind of push in and push out. Maybe if I can get one side started. There we go, limit switch saved. This did go out, but it might not have been engaging properly. Those are pretty easy to troubleshoot. Scrap. Oh, it's about to come. I've got my truck in here, a little Tacoma, in case it gets real bad. We're expected a lot of hail. This blower motor assembly I will keep. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do with it though. So it's probably just gonna go up on the shelf for a while. Where did my, here it went. We'll put it on the bench to store. There we go. There might be some value left in that. Okay, aside from the top panel, which I guess we'll deal with now, then we'll cut. So the top panel, these knobs pull off. Pretty sure they do. Yeah, there's a little retainer right there that's held on with some screws. We'll save these as well. All right. Boom. We're gonna put these screws back in here a little bit, just so they don't get lost. That might be cool for something too. We'll hang on to that for sure. There we go, good enough. Really satisfying click. On the back here, what else have we got? Looks like there's something right there. Let's see. Drop it in here. This right here is the start and stop button. I don't know if I actually want that or not. You can just get a switch for pretty cheap, but I can figure out how to get it out. Break it, break the retainer. Is it on the thread? Okay, the whole button is spinning. You might need to take these little clippies out. I wonder if we can just cut them. So let me grab my snips here. If we can just cut them, that's what we're gonna do. Because, well, the top panel is also destined to be cut up. Some real good metal. Do something with, break it on a brake. Don't actually break it, you know, just break it with the brake. There. All right. So here's our guy. Here's our buddy pal. Now, how do you get this thing out? Just the knob pull off? The button itself? Oh yeah, so it does. So it just turns one direction. There we go. That's kind of cool. We'll save it, do something with it. This thing, it looks like it's kind of the same, except not. There's a little clip right there. I guess that's just meant to retain it from spinning. See ya. What's the trick? I wonder. Is that it? Yeah. That's like kind of it. Can I keep that? It like needs to spin. That part I know is true. All right, I'll play with this off camera. And also get that guy out. No idea what he does. Maybe a regulator? And then I'll clear my bench off and get that stuff stored. And we'll come back with the angle grinder and finish the job. All right, we're back and we're cleaned up a little bit. So I did wind up getting those 2 switches off of this panel. And I decided to save that galvanized tube for the exhaust. That might come in handy for something. I got ahead of myself and I went on and removed the shroud up here. And I'm not gonna go cutting on this. This is okay as is, and I'd rather kind of pick and choose what I want out of this at a later date. So that's not gonna get scrapped. It's gonna stay just like it is. This guy right here though, I don't want to store it like this. It's bulky, it takes up a lot of room, and I kind of had the thought maybe I could turn this into like a drawer or something, but it's just not very, the metal's not very thick. I don't want it. This back panel, we'll probably let it go and just try and keep the sides right here. So I've got my angle grinder. And I think we'll start by cutting the top right here and maybe work our way down the back and just try and bend it back and forth. So we'll be letting go of this bar, the floor, and the back, and just keeping the sides off this. So let's get some cutting done. I'm also gonna be a little proud of that right there, so that way I can reference this as a square edge should I ever need to. There's one out of here. Now the back. This could be a little bit tricky, so I'm gonna replace my cutting wheel real quick. Got so much junk. All right. Put that on the used one. There. Now I really can't stand a grinder with this thing on them. I mainly just put it here if I'm going out and about. I hardly ever use it. It's also a pretty new grinder. I'm impressed with this little Bauer with the battery adapter on it. I've always used a corded one, but this brushless motor is actually pretty sweet. This is gonna take a second. I need hearing protection, a mask, and all that. And you guys probably don't want to listen to this, so I'll come back once this is cut, and then we'll try and break it all apart. All right, so we got some cutting done. And hey, seriously, you only get one set of eyes. I wear glasses. You You only get one set of eyes, one set of ears, and one set of lungs. It's not worth it. Wear your PPE, especially in a confined space like this. So what I think I want to do here is just kind of, you know, something like that. There we go. Just try and break everything off. We can leave that as is. This right here, we'll just go forwards and backwards. And eventually it should just kind of pop off. Let's move to a larger area. There we go. Might ought to cut this. Worked out better in my head. All right, I guess I'm gonna cut these down here. 1 second. All right, we are victorious. We got a panel here, we got a panel there, we got a dead panel here. That's what we were after. So I'm just gonna fold this back over top, and that's good enough. So try and not grab the sharp edges. Just a little warm. And put it with the pile. Let's see here. There you go, little guy. This is all scrap. I'll tell you what, actually. This piece right here, that could be sweet for some brackets or something. So, I don't organize scrap metal very well, but I sure do hang on to it. All right, sweet. I'm super excited about this stuff though. So, just move all this somewhere else. And I guess we're wrapped up here. I'm just gonna sweep up and clean. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this stuff. I'll figure that out. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I've got a few more things I'd like to tear down. I've got an old Ryobi table saw here that my mom used for a very long time, and she was very due for an upgrade. This old light here, do something with. That was in storage, and my dad said, I never could get it to stay charged. I don't think I'm gonna be able to either, but we could get the light system or tear it apart, see what we can see. This old DeWalt drill. I'd like to fix this. I think it needs brushes, but I won't know till I open it up. I used this for 8 years at work, and it's a great drill. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.